Hello everybody, it's Max McAllister here from Traxxion Dynamics. Hey, today I want to talk to you about procuring the lumber for your top plate if you're going to do a do-it-yourself version of our Axxion Rocker plate, and placement of the template. So what I've done is I'm looking to build a full-length rocker plate here, and as an example, and if you go to the home supply in your area and search for a piece of lumber, a lot of times to help consumers out, they've got smaller pieces cut than the normal 4-foot by 8-foot sheet of lumber. Well, all you're looking for to build one of our rocker plates is 30 inches by 22 inches is the dimensions of our plate. So if you find a piece of lumber that's slightly bigger than that, you're good to go. Most building supply stores have a panel saw, and a lot of people don't know this, but there's a giant saw in there, and that will make perfect straight square cuts. And at businesses like Home Depot and Lowe's in America, they make those cuts for free. Even if you had to pay $1 or $2 per cut, it would be well worth it, because it's able to make perfectly straight cuts that you wouldn't be able to make yourself using a normal hand-propelled saw. So if you're going to make a full-length rocker, you're going to end up having to buy a full sheet of lumber, almost certainly. But there's plenty of excess left over for you to make an extra plate or two for your friend or wife, or your buddy you ride with. So out of one 4x8 sheet of lumber, I was able to get a full-length rocker plate and enough lumber to make 3 more plates. So some of them are cut into halves that I could ship to someone somewhere else in the world, and I've got one that's a solid piece. So you can very easily get that. Now the excess scraps, these are valuable. Ask the guy to possibly just make a cut in them, or you could cut this at home with a circular saw. These make perfect leveling plates. So depending on your brand of trainer, you're going to need something under your front wheel if you want it to be completely level. Some people will use a normal riser chalk, or you probably already have one that came with your trainer that may have different heights. You can set it out for climbing or riding level. But these make great additional pieces of lumber to add or remove height as you so desire. If you're not a typical do-it-yourselfer, you might not have a long straight edge, but the scraps will have long, perfectly cut straight edges that you can use to make lines, and if you're doing a full-length rocker, and that can be very beneficial. If you buy a full sheet of lumber, you're likely to end up with a very long scrap. This is ideal, honestly, if you have a long scrap like this. Most people don't have something very straight, but this will allow you to place the bolt holes for the forward rocker completely, perfectly and accurately. So that's a very good use for that. Your template we supply you, take your time, cut it very, very straight. It has to be really perfectly cut. A razor blade cut is ideal if you can do that with, again, one of your very straight edges you have. We've marked our template for you to remove these 2 little triangles, as they indicate the dead center line of your rocker. No matter what your brand of rocker is, you need to have the bottom bracket of your bicycle or the center of your rear tire centered on the board. Now, most trainers will be offset to one side or the other. So you don't center the trainer, you center the bicycle, and that's really critical to how this style of rocker works. After that, you'll counterbalance it so that it performs in a balanced fashion with weight. So that's one of the key elements to this. So you need to know this center line. If you're buying one of our complete kits, this isn't going to be important, because we've got every hole marked for everywhere you need to go and what to do. Now, once you've cut your template out perfectly on the lines we supplied, you're going to take as much time as you need to place that template perfectly on the piece of wood. I can't stress, take as much time as you need to get it exactly where it needs to go. You can use some painter's tape or any kind of tape. You're going to lay a strip of it and very nicely crease it and wrap it so that you've got it very, very square. Again, double check all of that. When you come to the other side, you're going to take another strip of tape to the paper and then put gentle tension on it so that you take all of the slack out of the paper. verify that you're still perfectly square, and then wrap your tape down firm and square and straight. You're going to want this paper to be perfectly in place when we poke our holes to mark where we're going to drill. All right, so that's selecting wood. And remember, like I said, with this piece of wood, if you got a buddy that's gonna, interested, you can go in on one piece of lumber. This whole sheet of lumber was $55 US, and I have enough to do a full-length rocker and 3 more plates. So you could basically be in for about 12 bucks between for lumber for you and your buddies each. Now, so I'm Max. I'm gonna do a series of these on how we do this and how we make the rocker boards. So this was part 1. Watch for part 2. Please like this video, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll keep these videos coming.